Welcome to the 34th episode of Let's Conquer Books. Robin Sharma, in his book The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, said, "Investing in yourself is the best investment you will ever make. It will not only improve your life, it will improve the lives of all those around you." In this episode, I talk about the three persons that shaped the life of Elon Musk, who are Isaac Asimov, Douglas Adams, and Benjamin Franklin. So let's get into it. I'm Alexander, the Great Reader, your host, and this is a podcast where we read, study lessons, and build our inner power because the next level we will reach does not tolerate cowards. This episode was inspired because Elon Musk is someone that I admire, someone that I follow and think highly of. He started PayPal, which is the payment processing company. Solar City, he was a founder. He really didn't have time to allocate towards that venture, so he gave it to his brother, which is one of the leading installers and manufacturers of solar panels here in the United States. SpaceX, that's becoming more and more famous. They're trying to get people to Mars. And Tesla, another car that's revolutionizing the automobile industry. So that's what got me started to admire him. Then I read the biography by Ashley Vance on Elon Musk. And I love that biography so much that it made me admire him even more, because it goes into detail a lot of his childhood, his upbringing, his struggles, his up and downs, the sacrifices he's done, the risks he's taken. So one day I was on Twitter because I follow Elon Musk, and he tweeted this: "Should probably articulate philosophy underlying my actions. It's pretty simple. I am mostly influenced by Douglas Adams and Isaac Asimov." So I Googled those two names, and they happen to be authors. So that's interesting. So I read one book from each author, their most famous books. So Isaac Asimov, he wrote and edited over 500 books. He's considered the master of sci-fi genre, and he's part of the big three sci-fi writers during his lifetime. Now, Douglas Adams, he's famous for his radio series that was later turned into a 5-book series, then a television series, and lastly, a Hollywood film. The first book I read was Isaac Asimov's Foundation. So that's his most famous and praised book out of all. So that I decided to start with that one. And a fun fact about this book, Elon Musk put this inside of a Tesla, and he launched it on one of the SpaceX rockets he has. And he has this foundation series in space right now. And he says the books are about how information can help change and predict the future. Now, this book taught Elon Musk that civilizations will one day falter. I guess Isaac Asimov was trying to teach through sci-fi what Romans went through, what Babylonians and Sumerians and all these civilizations that disappeared. So that could be what inspired him for SpaceX, because he wants people to start living in Mars and being an interstellar species. It also taught him that civilizations move in cycles. It taught him that an individual can have a huge impact on the world. This is key, because I read only the first book. I don't know how many books. I think it's 3 for the foundation. And the main guy, Harry Seldon, he created something called psychohistory, and he predicted that, in 500 years, humanity was going to destroy itself and blah, blah, blah. So this guy grabbed everybody that was smart and knew a lot of things to help create technologies and advance the human civilization to avoid this prediction that he made. Elon Musk is trying to do that too. Look at his space travel company, SpaceX. He's able to deliver things to space at very low cost so people can get internet access anywhere. Poor people, that's going to help Africa, India, places where they don't have internet access. He's also trying to colonize Mars. His automobiles, he's trying to run off electricity, electrical cars, which is going to put a big dent in the fossil fuel industries. He's also trying to change the energy through solar energy. And, I remember a presentation he recently made that the roofs are going to be made out of this certain material that can absorb the energy from the sun. The railroads he's building a railroad in California, go Los Angeles, San Francisco in some ridiculous time. The highways he's trying to build underneath Los Angeles, built out of magnets to reduce traffic. He's trying to change finance with PayPal. When you read his book, you kind of see that he really never really got to do what he was trying to do with PayPal, which was transform finance and bring down a lot of the costs that make transactions and wiring money, kind of like what Bitcoin is doing. He was already trying to do back then. Not Bitcoin, but the blockchain, sorry. So Asimov influenced Elon to take on the problems of making humanity a better place to live, a better humanity, a better place to live, more resourceful, and also save it from the destruction that we might do on ourselves. Now, Douglas Adams, he wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That is his most famous and praised book. That's the one I decided to read. He also sent on that same Tesla to space a towel and the book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Now, the towel thing is a reference to the book because I remember when they're going to blow up Earth, he told the other guy to hey, the most important thing you need to bring is a towel. So it's kind of funny that he sent a towel to space to reference that. And he also has the song by David Bowie, Don't Panic, on a continuous loop to tribute Douglas Adams, because when you read the book, it's kind of like the main guy's like, oh, don't panic, and they're blowing up things and bad things are happening. He's like, don't panic, don't panic. He's like, what do you mean, don't panic? He says that this book encouraged him to ask bigger questions about space, about the impact one person can have. So that's another reference to that thought that one person can impact the world. Technology, bigger questions about technology, and bigger questions about the future of mankind. And that sounds a lot like Elon and the stuff he's trying to do that just really blows our mind that we can't even believe he's even pursuing things that he's pursuing. It taught him how to properly phrase questions to get the answer. Now, the book talks about a civilization that had a computer, and they asked them, I think the question is what's the meaning or the purpose of life? And then this computer told them it's going to take a long time. I don't know if it's thousands or millions of years. So they've been all waiting, and finally the day comes and the machine spits out, I think, the number 2 or some weird number. And they're like, what? And Elon took it you got to better understand the universe and the universe so you can better ask questions. That was what he took from that. It's asking proper understood questions to get answers to those questions. And I follow Elon a lot on Twitter, and I listen a lot to his speeches he gives. And I find that a lot of the humor he uses is like the humor Douglas Adams uses in his books. You got to read the book to kind of understand what I'm saying. A lot of people don't think Elon's funny. I think he's funny because I understand the type of humor he's using. Now, I have a bonus. He also talks about the Ben Franklin biography by Walter Isaacson. I have personally not read this book, but I remember him mentioning the book. And he says that, in the book, it talks about teaching yourself difficult skills. So Ben Franklin taught himself how to write at a high level by, I guess he worked at a publisher and bookstores, and he was able to write at a high level. So Elon himself taught himself space exploration and rocket science through reading textbooks and talking to experts. Another thing he learned was improving yourself personally helps you professionally. So Ben Franklin created a club of intellectuals that were talking about ideas and books they were reading. And Elon said, I need to be doing that too. And he credits a lot of his success to the books intelligent people have recommended to him and the inspiration he's gotten from other people he's gotten ideas and talking to that were intellectuals. The other thing he learned from Ben Franklin's biography by Walter Isaacson is innovation is born from solving the most basic problems. Now, Ben, he resolved the bifocal reading glasses, helping people see better with the bifocals. Home heating was difficult at times, and the same unit could cook. So it was a heating unit for the home, and it cooked. And he was critical to verifying the nature of electricity, which led to a lot of research and study to help electricity and technology that go hand in hand. Elon Musk is the same way. He solved problems of making payments online with PayPal. He's solving this problem of fossil fuels that is getting depleted and that is ruining nature and our environment. So he's bringing out these electric cars, solar energy, bringing down the cost of electricity and getting away from the grid and our dependency of the electrical grid. Also, the interplanetary species, we have this problem that there might not be enough resources, or there might be better resources somewhere else, and he's trying to help us live in other planets, starting with Mars. And he's tackling the problem of traffic, which everybody hates. In Los Angeles, he's building that underground highway with magnets. So the action for the episode is to, if you have the time and if you're into Elon Musk the way I am, read his biography. It's one of the best biographies I've ever read. Also read books that are mentioned here. Read if you like science fiction or you want to start pursuing that, you got to open your mind. That's what I did. I just started reading science fiction. I'm getting into it. So read Isaac Asimov's Foundation. Read Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker to the Guide to the Galaxy. Read Ben Franklin's biography by Walter Isaacson. And you also look for books that influenced people you admire or want to be like. I've seen Jeff Bezos mentioning books that influence him. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, athletes. You look for those people who you admire and you want to be like and read those books that have influenced them. I want to thank all the listeners for bringing us over 2,200 plays and downloads. The reading challenge is at 135 books out of 140. Again, I'm smashing last year's 105 challenge. I'm going to have to redo that, maybe to 160. Still 4 months left. And let's connect on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm mostly on Instagram. I'm looking for ideas for episodes, looking for people to interview. So if you know anyone or you are the one, let's connect. See you on the next one. Please subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Anchor, or any other podcasting platform so you don't miss the next episode where I talk about the 3 principles of becoming educated, taught by Isaac Asimov.